Alright, sorry for the late track guide for Homestead. Honestly, I was thinking about not even making one because I didn't know how to really point out the things that were going to be key in talking about once the race gets going. Um, it's pretty simple driving it. Smash your foot down and go. You might want to loosen it up if you're looking for long run, it might get tighter. I know that Wayne has also posted his setup in the forums so that you can download and put in your car folder. Um, but it's pretty simple driving it by yourself. Now there are some key things that you need to know, um, like don't get loose and crazy like me down there. Obviously the car was a bit looser, and this was on a different track because Homestead now has more grip at the top, and later on, we were already going to the top even with that low grip that it had last season, 2 seasons ago, whenever it might have been. So first off, do not bump draft. Do not try to bump draft. It's either going to send your nose going one way, or the guy in front of you is going to get sent one way. It's not going to be a good thing. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to some pack racing that I end up doing here. Little lifts, just because the draft is quite big. You know, do what you need to. We're essentially racing Talladega, Daytona at 1.5 mile tracks, but with a bit more handling. You'll see, I don't even know what happens, so I'm just trying to find some things that work out to show everyone what to watch out for. Big thing is off the corners is where you can really get in trouble. Let's watch this through the corner here. I'm sure that the high side's going to be more dominant now, but you got to watch off the corner. People will wiggle and sway off the wall on that high side. So think about that, giving room, and also think about not doing that if you got someone on the inside of you. But this car can easily pitch on you at random points. Let's go ahead and skip ahead more. As you can see, I was just not even involved in the first part of this race. 67 lap race. No need to try to burn your right front up. Let's take a look ahead where they're racing much tighter. One thing, do not come up and try to block a run, because that is just going to get you in the field wrecked. Because if the guy's got to check up, the guy behind him's probably not going to be able to see it, and the guy behind him definitely won't be able to see it. So be aware of that. You can see slightly coming off the wall each corner. You can kind of see how the two lines come together, and it's very sketchy down the straightaway. It's easy, but it can start swapping and going side to side without you even wanting to. You see the 5 car there started getting a wiggle, and it's one of those things you just got to be aware of. So, you see the 2 gets a little loose. Now they're going to be 3 wide, but cars are just wiggly. It's like nose heavy. I think that's because we're burning off some fuel. But I think also the top side's going to be a little easier, maybe even a little more dominant, because you can see Vinny holding the lead just fine up on the high side. Now here's one of those situations where this is going to happen. We both start wiggling, and it can easily hook the tank on the nose. So you gotta be careful with that. They're just slight side to side movements, but the wrong spot, it can really mess you up. So you can see them easier when I fast forward. You can see that it is not just a straightforward. It's kind of more like the NASCAR Legends than the regular Cup cars now. I see. I think that is one of those times where I came up into him. That was me. I think I misjudged where he was, got into him. And then just throwing it down on the inside. You can, but you just can't push up. So then my run's going to be killed out of here. Everyone else had to check up and get out of it. But there'll be a lot of back and forth. I think with the top side being more dominant, I didn't even look to see how the other races went or any info on that. Key thing, though, off the corner. This section right here. That's where you got to try to be as stable as possible, and it's the hardest to be stable. So, do your best, and if we wreck, we wreck. It's no big deal. That's what this whole series is about, is getting people to learn, understand, and race it. It's a whole different beast. Looks like, sounds like we are we lifting off? Yeah, we're doing a little bit of lifting off, but I think that was mainly because I was behind him. I don't know. On a clear run. Late in the run. Yeah, a little lift to get it to turn. That may be different now. But try out the iRacing default. Try out Wayne's. Try out with a little more stagger at the start. And then go some positive weight jacker to counter that for a bit. Might help you out at the end, or it might make you just way too loose here. That's what I don't know. We'll find out when we get in there. But I'm guessing most of you got some practice races in, even on Monday and Tuesday. I haven't had any time with getting behind on schedule and work, so just wanted to give a brief overview. Do not be scared at all about this track. You should be able to drive it just fine, and if it's getting a little too sketchy, just up the weight jacker and drive within your limit. Just be careful about out of the corners, because that's when this car gets really light and can get twitchy on you. It's not going to spin on you, but it could change lanes on you, and if you're running 2-3 wide, that's when things go bad. So, hope this helps, and hope to see you tonight.